weekend time, a good friend of mine, a brother of mine, she's recommended that I stop doing Conquer the Weekend. He actually says I should be weighing myself every 2 weeks to a month. The issue with that is I'm mentioning because I'm considering it, but I at least wanted to follow through on this weekend. And I just think the issue is that, as I told him, is the accountability. Like, if I don't know, like, these weigh-ins, I do Conquer the Weekend because I'm going to think about it all weekend and it's going to impact my eating. But last week, my Conquer the Weekend just torpedoed the week. Had I not done Conquer the Weekend, I can assure you I would have got better results. And I was flat for the week, which I never complain about, especially when you consider how much every month last year I was gaining. So to be at a point where I can hold flat for the week and not lose sight of the fact that I'm still down 16 pounds for the year, that in and itself is a small victory. But when I saw my weight went up so much over the weekend, it just really, really torpedoed my enthusiasm. And there were a lot of corners that I cut last week just in terms of I didn't feel like running. I'm not going to beat myself. I got 4 lifting sessions in last week, and 4 is the goal, 5 is the stretch goal, so that was fine. But in terms of discipline with my diet, I was just like, I'm not having a good week, and that led to me having that appetizer, the Fiesta egg rolls with the steak and spinach that I had on Thursday, like just little stuff like that, because I'm just like, I had already given up on the week. And I don't know how to keep that enthusiasm without having these check-ins. I don't know. Like this weekend, I was like a bat out of hell. I had one cheat meal on Saturday. I had a cheeseburger and fries, and that was the only cheat meal I had this weekend. I did snack a little more than I should have on Friday, but I didn't have a cheat meal. That being said, I'll give it some consideration. Definitely was very frustrated last week, and that Conquer the Weekend a week ago today really, really slowed my momentum. But I really pushed this weekend to have some great results. So I'm expecting a good weekend, but we'll see. I'm proud of what I did this weekend regardless. I ate very clean and I stayed on my diet. I did snack some on Friday, but I didn't, like, I had a bag of sweet potato chips, I had yogurt. Honestly, I didn't really have anything else. And then I had some bootleg grilled cheese sandwiches for dinner. I didn't feel like cooking it. I didn't feel like having any factor meals. And that was something else I wanted to address. So on Friday night, I had like 4 slices of white bread and I threw 2 slices of cheese, and that's what I had for dinner. Um, which I don't like eating white bread. I really stay away from bread altogether, in all honesty, because it's just 100% processed. There's nothing but crap. There's not a shred of nutritional benefit to having white bread. So whenever I eat that, like whenever I eat something processed, it just feels like I've gone off the rails. But that's pretty much all I had on Friday, and I had my normal. So let's go into my Garmin app. Health stats. Wait. So 288. So I actually came down over the weekend 1.6 pounds. Not surprised by it. Like I said, really showed a lot of discipline this weekend. BMI 32.4, body fat 34%. Let's try to get that under 34, back in the 33s by the end of this week. All in all, a good weekend. Like I said, let's see what Friday. It's 289.8, so I came down 1.2 pounds over the weekend. So, overall, I'm just not content with where I am, and I have to be realistic about where I was starting the year at 305. So, it's going to take some patience. This is going to be a process, and I've really been trying to keep my mind focused on the summertime and seeing significant progress. But I don't want to have another week where my weight is up 3 pounds. Like, that's just unacceptable. I understand when I'm lighter it gets harder and harder. But I feel like at this point, I should be dropping pounds in chunks, just considering the level of activity, considering I'm doing 3 24-hour fasts. And so I have much higher expectations. Um, but I have to be patient, and I can't get back to where I was pre 2020, where I'd run into a setback like last week and I'd completely give up and just throw my hands in the air and go binge and get frustrated and just say, I can't do this. Like I'm not gonna do that, but I am frustrated. And the back half of last year is what happened. I dealt with a death. I dealt with some personal turmoil in terms of my wife being laid off. Just a lot of stuff that took the prioritization away from my fitness and my health. And a lot of those situations have kind of turned the page on with the new year, and I don't want to continue to slide. The stakes that I'm playing for are just too high for me to fail at this, and so it's just not acceptable for me to just stay floating around 300. I was basically from floating between 320 and 290 for 5 years, and I don't want to be anywhere close to that range. I'm aging. I'm turning 48. My stepfather died of a heart attack at 56. My father died at 51, 52. Like, I'm getting closer to those ages. And I've said for years, I want to blow through my 50s and 60s and 70s. I don't want to spend a night in the hospital. I don't want to have any surgeries. I don't want to be on any medication. And no one or nothing can influence that more than I can. I don't have total control, but no one and nothing can influence that more than my diet, my fitness, my rest, my mental health. All I can do is try to put myself in situations to be successful at that and let the chips fall where they may, and just hope that the preparation, the effort that I'm putting in is driving the results I'd like to see. But you never know, anything could happen. But all I can do is try to do the best I can and put myself in a situation where I can be successful and have a long, healthy life and still be running marathons in my 80s. So, that starts with keeping my weight, getting my weight down and keeping it down. So, good weekend, and let's follow this up with a good week. I'm going to try to push to get under 285. If I don't do it, that's fine. But, I want to start seeing the weight dropping off, just considering the extreme things I'm doing. 3 24-hour fasts. I'm going to try for 5 workouts. I'm going to try for 3 runs this week. I want to be seeing results when I'm this heavy and there's so much body fat to fall off. I want to be seeing big results. I recognize, if I'm in my 230s and there's a lot less of the boulder to chip off, it's a lot more difficult to move the needle. But, in this weight range, I expect to see things coming off in chunks. So let's follow this up with a good week, good weekend. For now, for Reed Fitness, signing off.